Good evening, everyone. Myself, Neha Thakur, a director of this program and moderator for today. So, I welcome all of you for the second edition of Pink for IAS, producing India's next generation for IAS. So, I firstly want to wish happy International Women's Day to all our women. So, on the occasion of Women's Day, I want to be our panelists as 4 women. So, I welcome Akshita, Joycey, and Saubhagya and Meghna. So our today's topic is the role of education in shaping responsible and visionary civil servants. So our first scenario is, Jaslene Kaur was an 18-year-old girl whose parents had always dreamed of her becoming a doctor. They consistently encouraged her to study diligently and arranged for private tuition to support her academic endeavors. After completing her 10th standards, Jaslene's parents enrolled her in a prestigious college renowned for its rigorous academic program, which promised to secure her admission to a medical college. As part of the integrated Inter plus NEET training program, Jaslene underwent intensive coaching for 12 hours daily, attending classes from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Unfortunately, this demanding schedule left no room for sports or extracurricular activities. Following 2 years of strenuous preparation, Jaslene took the NEET exam and achieved a commendable rank of 600 plus. This accomplishment made her eligible for admission to one of India's esteemed medical college. However, Jaslene's parents were disappointed with her performance, having expected a rank within the top 100. Jaslene was deeply distressed by her inability to fulfill her parents' aspirations and subsequently fell into depression. Tragically, at the tender age of 18, Jaslene Kaur took her own life by jumping from the 10th floor of a commercial complex in Hyderabad in 2018. So, first question is for Joycey. I want to ask, who is responsible for the suicide of Jaslene?
Thank you, Neha, for posing such a question. I think her parents and education institutions are responsible for the death of her, and because the main reason is parental pressure, and education institutions is also responsible. I believe no education institution must pressurize the students with 12 hours of rigorous coaching.
Second question is for Akshita. What are the ethical issues involved in this case?
So, as we have seen, she has committed suicide because of so much pressure. She went into depression. So, this is because of parental pressure, and she has a pressure of study as well. She is not into any curricular activities, any extracurricular activities, as we know, because of 12 hours of rigorous coaching. So, here we can see, as per NEP 2020, National Educational Policy 2020, there should be holistic development of any student. Holistic development here means not only gaining knowledge about sciences, maths, etc., but also skill development of the student, and she must not be pressurized only with studies, but also she must be open to exposed to other curricular activities as well. Then she might have not undergone with such pressure, and the scenario would be different. Thank you.
So coming to Saubhagya, what are the legal issues involved in this case?
Thank you, Neha, for the question. So first of all, legal issues means, first of all, I would like to say my opinion on the education. In my perspective, the education is the holistic development of the student. It look for the holistic development of the student, which also inculcate the values like accountability, sympathy, empathy, and also improve the communication skills. First of all, here, according to, I want to mention the 2 legal provisions. First of all, as my friend said, Akshita, National Education Policy 2020, which will look for the holistic development of the student, which will also promotes the extracurricular activities. Second thing is that Right to Education Act 2009, which will provides mandatory for the educational institutions in order to promote the physical sports as well. Thank you, Neha.
Meghna, what measures can be implemented in India's education system to prevent suicides and promote ethical education?
First, I am feeling bad for Jaslene. Okay, she has to committed suicide at the age of 18, which is a tender age, and the main reason for her suicide is family support ledu. So she doesn't have her family support, is what I feel. And during inter, a lot of students are, pressurized to make a career
all of a sudden we can't create huge changes in education system, but we need to give need to give importance equally, both academic and also extracurricular activities. So I think even colleges should encourage children to participate in sports, and they should, conduct programs for their skill development and include classes like arts, like small skills, so they'll become more creative. And comparing ourselves, I think parents should not compare their children to other students, and everyone has their unique way. I think she scored really well, and
so everyone have given excellent answers. So when you see the scenario, usually in this kind of scenarios we have a tendency to find fault only with the educational institution, but you have covered everything with a 360-degree orientation. So looking at the scenario, so this is a real incident that happened in 2018. So where a girl who has scored 600 plus rank, but could not fulfill the expectations of the parents. Even the educational institution in which she was studying was also insisting heavy pressure. Almost 13 hours a day the college was operating without having any focus on the extracurricular activities and co-curricular activities. So in this case, the first question, who is responsible for the suicide of Jesslyn? So it is not just the parents, or it is not just the educational institution, but we have to consider the holistic approach. From the holistic point of view, apart from the educational institution which has enforced heavy curriculum on part of the students, even the parents are also responsible. Generally we hear that పిల్లల్ని మేము పెంచుతున్నాం అని అంటుంటారు. సో పెంచడానికి పిల్లలు కుక్కలు కాదు, కుక్కల్ని పెంచుకోవాలి, జంతువులు పెంచుకోవాలి, పిల్లల్ని కాదు. పిల్లలు నువ్వు పెంచకపోయినా పెరుగుతారు. So let the student be given an opportunity to decide what the student wanted to have. So here parents are responsible. So usually we don't blame the parents, but the parents are having extraordinary and unrealistic expectations from the student. Secondly, college is responsible because the college is implementing a program which is heavily imposed on the student, that imposes heavy pressure on the student. And moreover, the overall examination pattern is also responsible. The NEET examination system, every year 24 lakhs people are appearing for the NEET exam, and it is a rat race, not just acquiring the knowledge, it's a rat race. Just for the sake of 1,000 seats or 2,000 seats, the people are appearing for such kind of examination, and Jesslyn herself is also responsible for this, because as an individual, we right from our childhood we are learning the life skills, the survival skills, and we are supposed to learn those survival skills by focusing on non-academic activities as well. And in addition to that, even the whole society is also responsible, because the society will consider your efficiency only based on the marks and the ranks that you get. So it is not just any single element that is responsible for her death. So the second question, what are the ethical issues involved in this case? The ethical issues involved are that the parental pressure is a major ethical issue. Parents are expecting the children to perform beyond their expectation, beyond their capabilities. So there is a tendency on part of the parents to impose their own dreams on part of the students, on part of their children. So therefore, there is also a lack of mental health support for the students in overcoming such kind of stress during the course of examination, and neglect of autonomy. So what is this autonomy? Autonomy is independence to take an autonomous decision by the individual consent. Usually parents, particularly for the parents whose children are studying in such professional courses, will take their decision and impose it on the student, the children. So instead of doing such a way, taking such a decision by the parents and imposing it on the student, let the student also take the decision by considering available options. Remember that medicine is not the life, engineering is not the life. There is life beyond the medicine, life beyond the engineering. There are multiple alternative courses of choice that the students can opt for. And the third question, what are the legal issues involved in this case? So, it is a clear case of suicide, abatement to the suicide. Abatement to suicide means it is a crime under the section 306 of the BNS. An abatement to the suicide is encouraging a person to commit the suicide, because when you are pressurizing someone to do certain things in a way that you want it to do, you want them to do, that will be an abatement to the suicide. And there is also an issue of mental harassment by the parents under section 323 of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. And parents' duty to ensure emotional safety and well-being was neglected, which is section 317, which is punishable under 317 of the BNS. So, usually what we do is, in such cases, as I told you, that we ignore the pressure imposed by the parents, as if the parents alone are the victims. And parents are the primary crime committers here, indirectly, without a specific knowledge of their own. Then the question 4, what measures can be implemented in India's education system to prevent the suicide and promote ethical education? Because every year, according to the NCRB National Crime Record Bureau data, in 2023-24, around out of the total suicides committed, that is 1,73,000 suicides have been committed last year. Out of the total suicides committed, 23% suicides are committed by the students only. Most of them are committed particularly in Rajasthan, Kota, where the students are pursuing entrance examination, coaching for the entrance examination for various courses, including the NEET and the JEE. So, this kind of pressure could not be accepted and could not be bared by the students. So, in this case, what is required, what activities what reforms that the education system has to be adopted. So, fundamentally, that counseling sessions are required for every student, that it should be made as a compulsory part of the curriculum, just as your faculty are doing indirectly, not with a specific focus on the counseling. As a part of the curriculum itself, your faculty is supporting you with such counseling activities. And similarly, that encourage open and regular communication between the parents, then the teachers and the students. So, such kind of meetings are also a kind of communication, encouraging the communication between the students and the teachers. And similarly, implement measures to reduce the academic pressure by focusing on the non-curricular activities, including extracurricular activities, like as she said, the cultural programs and also the co-curricular activities, including the sports and others, sports activities. So, all these things will help the student to overcome any kind of pressure. Usually, we emphasize the students to go for the early morning exercises. Even early morning exercise will help you to overcome any kind of such stress that you have. So, that kind of activities, and apart from all these things, the government has to take measures to educate the parents. Apart from educating the children, parents are also supposed to be educated about how to make the students to learn about their own life, to take decisions about their own life, and similarly focus on the non-academic activities as I suggested. So, this kind of comprehensive measures are required to make sure that students should not be allowed to they should be made to take the self decision making, and they should know they will be in a position to take the decisions when they are given complete information. Do not restrict the information to the students, but give the information, comprehensive data to the information, so that the student can make their own decision. And one should not impose one's own dreams on the others. Remember that tomorrow you will also become the parents. When you become the parents, remember this point, that do not enforce your dreams on your children. And she is Jessalyn Kaur, who has committed suicide, who has taken her own life by jumping from a 10th floor of a building in Koti. So, the second scenario.
Thank you, sir, for sharing such a valuable information with us. So I now call upon my co-director Chandravamshi to pose second scenario.
First of all are happy Women's Day for all our women. Our second scenario, artificial intelligence increasing use to various sectors, including education. AI plays a crucial role in research and development, particularly in PhD and research. Shravya, a research scholar from Hyderabad Central University, focused on human rights. She is a political science department at the university. She has collected primary data through extensive field research. Shravya used ChatGPT 4.0 primary vision extensively to build research report. AI became a valuable tool for the scholars. In academic work, it is not illegal, and in India use it to AI. University policies are not prohibited that using the AI. The research is a potential game changer for the future of human rights protection. Our first question, Ms. Akshita, do you think that Shravya should be granted doctorate?
Thank you, Chandravamshi. So, we have seen AI is not illegal in India, but see, we know that AI is not completely accurate, and sometimes it may mislead us, it may give us misleading information also. It is not accurate all the times. So, depending on AI for data analysis is okay, but completely depending on AI for writing the whole research from AI is illegal. It is ethically wrong. If she has searched in AI and given her analysis and analyzed it and given her own opinion on the research, then independently, then it is correct, and she should be granted with doctorate. Thank you.
Our second question goes to Ms. Saubhagya. Who owns the intellectual property rights to research report, Shravya, the university or the development of ChatGPT?
I believe that Shravya used artificial intelligence as a tool only, because on the ground, if you see the ground scenario, she created her own reports, so that she owns the doctorate. And I want to convey two things here. First challenge, ethical challenge in this involved artificial intelligence is that if as Akshita said, if we depend excessive dependence on the artificial intelligence, it leads to the degradation of quality of work that we take from the artificial intelligence. And one more thing is that we can't it is not inclusive usage of the AI, because only the people who are access to the artificial intelligence can only avail the benefits of the artificial intelligence. So this is the two things I want to say. Thank you.
Ms. Meghana, what are the ethical dilemmas in this regard?
Regulation of AI usage. I think education institutions should regulate the usage of AI, and here Shravya used AI for researching, and if she used AI for researching and if she had developed her own way of, if she has converted according to her, I think it's ethical, and that's it.
Ms. Jaisi, what are the ethical measures do you suggest in this regard?
Thank you, Chandramshi. Even though she has taken the help of AI, she must not totally rely on AI. She can go through the content, analyze it, and return it independently. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
So, if you look at the scenario, so this artificial intelligence is increasingly used in various sectors, and it is ubiquitous now, universally accepted, and it is not illegal to use the artificial intelligence in India. Second aspect that you have to consider is Shravya is a research scholar from Hyderabad Central University focused on the human rights, and she has undertaken, collected the primary data through extensive field research. So, when she has undertaken the primary data through the extensive field research, That is one key point that you have to keep in mind. Secondly, she has used ChatGPT 4. Premier version. So it is not a free version, it's a premier version. So that means she has purchased the license for that. And to build, and she has used this ChatGPT extensively to build her research report, not for the research purpose, building the research report. So every word is important when you are considering a given situation, given scenario. And similarly, it is not illegal in India to use the artificial intelligence, because there is no such law to prohibit the use of artificial intelligence, even in the university policies also, including the UGC. University policies are not prohibiting the using the artificial intelligence. The research is a potential game changer for the future of the human rights protection. So she is going to contribute something for the society. So yesterday also there was a news in an opinion page in the Hindu paper, and if you would have read that, you would be in a position to give the answer properly. So the question number 1 is, do you think that Shravya should be granted doctorate? Definitely she should be granted doctorate, because she has not done anything unethical and she has not done anything illegal. So there is no question of preventing Shravya from getting the doctorate, because usage of AI is not prohibited by Indian law or the university policies. That is the first criteria. Shravya used the artificial intelligence as a tool to build the research report. So, but she also collected the primary data through the extensive field research. These are the key things in the given scenarios. So, these points you are supposed to take into consideration. Shravya should be granted the doctorate if her research meets the university standards for the quality, originality and academic integrity. Field data, collecting the field data itself is indicating that she has collected the data originally. It is not a copied version. She is only using the artificial intelligence for building the research report, designing the research report. So similarly, question number 2, who owns the intellectual property of the rights research report? Shravya or the university or the developers of the ChatGPT? So it is IPR rights, intellectual property rights. Ownership of these only these two people will hold the ownership of the intellectual property rights. Only Shravya and the university. Why Shravya and university will hold? Because original ideas, field research and analysis of the report are developed by the Shravya. Shravya's contribution. Then university contribution is, the university has provided all the necessary requirements for the research, including guidance from a professor. Then support for Shravya's research in the form of various requirements, including the even scholarship is also provided by this organization, university only. So if at all, if there is a question of owning the IPR, intellectual property rights over this research report, it will be only Shravya and university, but not ChatGPT. Why ChatGPT cannot claim the ownership of the rights, intellectual property rights, is because it's a paid version fundamentally. ChatGPT 4.0 paid version, a premier version, and it has assisted in building the research report only, not creating the research, only in building and designing the research report. Suppose these PPTs, I have designed these PPTs using the ChatGPT, using such artificial intelligence. So the ChatGPT cannot claim ownership of my content over here. ChatGPT is used as a tool only to design the PPTs. So therefore, its contribution is likely to be considered as a tool or a service which is paid version. So therefore, ChatGPT cannot claim intellectual property rights. Then question 3, what are the ethical dilemmas in this regard? Ethical dilemma stands for confusion between two things, whether to do something or not to do something. So these ethical dilemmas including authenticity versus originality. This creates the ethical dilemma. And we have a confusion whether Shravya has done something ethical or not. She has built the field research, she has collected the field research through the original ideas. So there is nothing wrong about this issue. Then academic integrity versus ChatGPT is another dilemma. So there is nothing disintegrated, or there is nothing unethical in what she has done, because nothing has prohibited, because in every university in the world today, ChatGPT or similar kind of tools, artificial intelligence tools are being used by everybody. 60% of the students and the teachers are also using it. Don't assume that. Don't get misguided by semi articles in the newspapers or personal opinions of various people in the social media. They say that they use the ChatGPT, they use the artificial intelligence, but they still claim that using the artificial intelligence is illegal, using the artificial intelligence is immoral. There is nothing immoral in using the artificial intelligence, because it is here to stay. Just like in 1990s, when cell phone was becoming a huge hit among the people were always critical about the cell phone. During the 2000, when there was a revolution in the information technology and the computers, people were critical about the computers, but today it has become a quite normal, and now the new normal is the artificial intelligence. When the artificial intelligence is the new normal, we have to accept it, and we cannot deny it. We cannot reject the benefits of the artificial intelligence. But there is a need for regulated use of the artificial intelligence as anything else. Just like the mobile phone has become a part of our life, people always will criticize about using the mobile phone. Particularly the parents will criticize the children for using the mobile phone, but they cannot deny using the mobile phone by themselves. And already we are using the artificial intelligence, and various researchers are proving that 60% of the students and the teachers are using it for the benefit of the people only. There is nothing wrong in doing this. So and regarding this ownership and the accountability. Ownership, as I already in the previous question we have discussed it, university is the owner of the research and Shravya is the developer of the research. Then transparency and the disclosure. There is a need for taking the necessary transparency measures, because when you are writing a report, you will also give acknowledgement to the ChatGPT. How you give the acknowledgement to the ChatGPT? Every information taken from any source should be acknowledged. So definitely, even in Shravya's report also, PhD report also, there will be acknowledgement. That transparency will be always be taken into consideration. And human judgment versus machine learning. So she has mixed the two. There was a balancing between the two. She has collected the data from the field level, field research, extensive field research, and then she used that field research for building the report, only designing the report by using the machine learning. So that's how these ethical dilemmas have to be overcome. Then the fourth question, what ethical measures do you suggest in this regard? So suggestions can be made in any manner. Measures suggested, like if you happen to read yesterday's newspaper, in the Hindu paper, these are the suggestions that I have found in that paper, like transparent disclosure of what you have taken from the machine learning. That is giving acknowledgement to the things that you have taken, clear acknowledgement, human oversight and editing. It is not just copying and pasting the information. You have to use the ChatGPT or any other AI version, and necessary changes should be made in that. So it is not completely copy paste system. It should be making necessary changes, though as she said, complete information given by the ChatGPT is not absolutely true. So such kind of wherever there is a fake information, false information, that should be rectified by the human oversight. Then researcher accountability is also there. Then AI tool evaluation and monitoring by the university should be undertaken, because there are verification methods also, whether you have collected the data completely from the ChatGPT or from the human intervention. So such kind of evaluation should be done by the university. Then peer review to be allowed by Shravya. So when peer review is undertaken, peer review means when you develop a report, give that report to your friends, to your colleagues, to your classmates. They will analyze where the necessary changes have to be made. You can apply this principle even in your answer writing also. when you are writing an answer, before giving it to the faculty, get it reviewed by your fellow students, your colleagues, your classmates. They review it and they may suggest improvisations, because reviewing only by the faculty will only give you one-sided information. If you get your answers reviewed even by the friends also, your friends and classmates also, then that will help you to improvise more upon and to adopt a 360-degree view. So that kind of measures are suggested from the sources that we have quoted, that it is taken from the Hindu paper.
Thank you, sir. I'll hand over to Miss Neha.
So finally the third scenario. Hyderabad is a pharmacy capital of India. India is pharmacy capital of the world. In 2023 to 2024, a girl by name Rachna passed out B Pharmacy with 80% marks. She was already selected by a pharmacy company in the campus recruitment for the post of junior scientist. She was offered 24 lakh per annum. She was dreaming to develop single vaccine for all the diseases, which will be a game changer in the world of pharmacy. She reported to the company soon after finishing her graduation. She was given night shift in the company to work from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. There is no alternative work option. She came home with utmost happiness. However, her father did not permit her to join the company as the work shift is in the night. He advised her to work in any other company to work in the day shift, even though the package is lesser. After a few days, her father got her married to an NRI. She went to Dubai without fulfilling her dreams. What is the ecosystem required to encourage the women working spaces? What do you think, Saubhagya? What will you do if you are in her place?
Thank you, Neha, for the question. If I is in her place, I would first of all I will convince my parents about the safety and security that is provided by the company. If it is not work out, then I will go to the company management about the time. I will convince the management to change the time, shifting of the time, and if there is no flexibility happen, then I will choose another career option.
Meghna, what policy measures do you suggest in this regard?
We have policy measure to prevent sexual harassment at workplace for women, and I think she should fight for her dreams. And as she's above, she completed graduation, so she's above 18 years. I think she can move out of her family to fulfill her dreams if they aren't supportive, and I would.
What are the concerns of the parent, Chansi?
Thank you, Neha. Parents often have concerns about their daughters according to night shift due to safety and social reasons and health. If their concerns are deep, you can discuss alternative shift options with the company. I think so. Thank you.
What is the ecosystem required to encourage the women working spaces?
As we know, we already have a legal backup for this. We have a law, sexual harassment at workplace. So there is no need of fear or being afraid of working at night shifts. So there should be an ecosystem where women feel safer to work at any time, whether it may be in the morning shift or in the night shifts. So this ecosystem should be created, and women must be encouraged by her parents also. Obviously, every parent will have safety issues, but they must also have courage, and they must encourage their child as well.
So all the three scenarios we discussed today are from the real life incidents only, including this one. So the scenario 3, where Hyderabad is considered as a pharmacy capital of India, and India is the pharmacy capital of the world, is a leading statement. This indicates that India in general and Hyderabad and Telangana in particular are emerging powers in the world, even in the field of pharmacy. Only for a lead statement I have given to indicate that it's a symbol of the development. So in 2023-24, a girl by name Rachna passed out B Pharmacy with 80% marks. So she was already selected by pharmacy company in the campus recruitment for the post of junior scientist. and she was offered 24 lakhs per annum. She was dreaming to develop a single vaccine for all the diseases, which will be a game changer in the world of pharmacy. An extraordinary dream that she had. She reported to the company soon after the finishing her graduation, and she was given night shift in the company to work from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. because pharmacy companies work in 3 shifts, and there is no alternative work option. Remember this also. There is no alternative work option. If you are given 7 p.m. to 2 a.m., you have to work only for that period. So you cannot have opportunity to request the company to change your timings. Whatever the timings that are allotted to you, you have to attend for that time. She came home with utmost happiness. However, her father did not permitted her to join the company as the work shift is in the night. So usually, quite naturally, this is what will happen in all our Indian social system. He advised her to work in any other company, to work in the day shift, even though the package is lesser. She had to settle for a lesser package. But there is no guarantee that her dreams will be fulfilled there. After a few days, her father got her married to an NRI. This is important because when you got married to an NRI, you have to leave, you have to go abroad. And she went to Dubai without fulfilling her dreams. There is no guarantee in Dubai that women may work to fulfill their dreams. Then what is the ecosystem required to encourage the women working spaces? So the first question is, what will you do if you are in her place? So the things that you may probably do, that you may probably should do, are respectfully discuss concern with your father. Then emphasize my career goals and passion for pharmacy, because it is always your dream to develop a vaccine that is useful for all the diseases, single vaccine system. Explore alternative companies with day shifts, or consider compromising on salary for a day shift. Seek guidance from the mentors or career counselors, and prioritize your personal and professional aspirations. So these things are the options that you have, and your mettle will be determined based on what option that you have selected. Whether your personal dreams are important or social compulsions are important. Between these two, whatever the dilemma that you have, based on these choices, whatever the choice that you have opted for, your decision making will determine your mettle. Then what policy measures do you suggest in this regard? Policy measures are the measures to be implemented by the government. Like flexible work arrangements should be created by the government, including flexible work arrangements are including work from home. Then parental consent laws should be enforced. Protection from the forced marriages, because getting a girl married after 18 years is legal, but apart from that, there is also a need for a legislation whereby girls should be protected from forced marriages also. When a girl do not like to get married, she should not be forced to. Then employment protection should be given, and education and awareness programs have to be conducted across various spectrums of life, including the parents also. Educating the parents is also necessary to allow the girls and to encourage the girl children to pursue their dreams. Then question number 3, what are the concerns of the parent? So at the same time, while pursuing our dreams, we also have to have concern for the parental worries also. Like parental concerns are safety and security of the girl, and social and cultural norms are also the concern of the parent, because the parents may encourage the child, but the society will not encourage the parents to get her to follow her dreams. Then marriage and family expectations, these are all the things that the parent has to have a concern for. Then question number 4, what is the ecosystem required to encourage the women working spaces? A positive ecosystem is required in the organizations, whereby if night shift is compulsory, night shift is unavoidable, the company has to arrange for a transportation along with the pilot. Apart from the driver, a pilot is required to be placed over there. And this transportation should be linked to a technological system, GPS technology, to continuously pursue where the vehicle is going to. So such kind of technological measures are required. Safe and secure work environment is required, like flexible work arrangements are necessary. Then supportive family and social structures should be encouraged, and overall there is a need for change in the attitude of the entire society, not just the family or not just that particular girl who had to leave to Dubai, leaving her dreams behind. So the entire social attitude has to be changed. That will take a very few days or few years. Since 1975, since 1950 till date, we have transformed a lot in the Indian social system, and it may take another 20-25 years. But this time is not so longer to change the attitude and the mindset of the social system. So these other benefits are also to be given once a girl or a woman has joined for a workplace, like equal pay benefits. This equal pay for equal work should be implemented not only in the public sector but also in the non-public sector organizations. Suppose in the movies, a hero will be paid 100 crores, but a heroine will not be paid on the same lines, though the heroine will have the more or less similar role on par with the hero. And in the cricket, Virat Kohli is paid higher payment, remuneration, but not in the women's cricket. Similar payment is not given. So is the equal pay for equal work, equal pay and equal benefit should be paid to both men and women irrespective of the sector that they are working in. Then child care and family care support should be provided, something like in Google campus there are arrangements for the child care activities. The children can be brought to the workplace. Recently we have seen in a press meet in America where president being accompanied by his close ally, and he brought his child to the workplace for meeting the president himself. So such kind of things shows that there is a need for making arrangement for the child care in the organizations also. Elon Musk has brought his child along with him to meet the president, and he was playing, the child is playing, and the press conference is being held. That indicates that child care is not just a responsibility of the girls but also the responsibility of the boys. Both mother and the father have to take equal responsibility for the child care, particularly in a situation when both the parents are working parents. There is nothing wrong if both the parents are working. The mistake lies when the men consider that only women are responsible for the child care. And women friendly policies and the laws are always there, and they have to be enforced and properly. Then education and awareness programs have to be implemented. So such kind of activities have to be undertaken by the government, creating an ecosystem for women working spaces, positive working spaces.
I appreciate my friends who are panel members for sharing your thoughts by being in the scenarios, and I thank you sir for awaiting us about the topic, the role of education in shaping responsible and visionary civil servants. And I thank you all my friends for being patient and listening to this. Thank you all.